Your car is trying to warn you about something expensive. Right now, there's probably a sound coming from your vehicle that most drivers ignore until it's too late. Here's the thing, that weird noise isn't going away on its own. It's actually getting worse every single day you pretend it doesn't exist. What starts as a $50 fix today becomes a $1,500 nightmare next month. The brutal truth? Every strange sound has a price tag attached to it. Some will cost you a few $100 if you act fast. Others will destroy your entire engine if you keep driving. Don't skip number 6. That whining sound could mean your transmission is slowly dying, and replacing it will cost more than your car is worth. Today we are covering the 5 most expensive sounds your car makes and exactly what they'll cost you if you ignore them. Welcome to Built-in Boost, where we break down the hype, cut through the marketing, and give you the real story behind the badge. If you'd rather catch these problems early than get hit with massive repair bills, press that like button. Ready to save yourself some serious money? Let's go. Number 1. Brakes making grinding noise. That metal on metal grinding sound when you step on your brakes isn't just annoying. It's your car telling you that you are literally destroying your braking system with every stop. This grinding happens when your brake pads have worn down completely, and now the metal backing plate is scraping directly against your brake rotor. It sounds like someone dragging a wrench across concrete, and it gets worse every time you brake. Here's what's actually happening under your wheels. Your brake pads are supposed to have friction material that grips your rotors to stop your car. When that material wears away completely, you are left with metal grinding against metal at high speeds and temperatures. This isn't just a brake pad problem anymore. You are now damaging your rotors, which are way more expensive to replace. If you caught this early, when your brakes were just squeaking, you'd be looking at almost $200 brake pad replacement. But now that you've let it grind, you're looking at $400 to $800 per axle because you need new rotors too. If you have really let it go, that grinding might have damaged your calipers, pushing your bill up to $1,200 or more. The scary part is what happens if you keep driving on grinding brakes. Your stopping distance increases dramatically, putting you and everyone around you at risk. Worse yet, your rotors can actually crack or warp from the heat, leading to complete brake failure. Imagine trying to stop at a red light, and your pedal just goes to the floor. That's a $2,000 emergency repair plus potential accident costs. Don't gamble with grinding brakes. The longer you wait, the more expensive it gets, and your safety isn't worth saving a few bucks. Number 2. High-pitched squeal from engine. That ear-piercing squeal coming from under your hood sounds like a smoke detector going off, and just like that smoke detector, it is trying to warn you about danger. This high-pitched screaming usually happens when you start your car or when you rev the engine, and it comes from a failing serpentine belt that is about to leave you completely stranded. Your serpentine belt is like the heart of your engine bay. It powers your alternator, power steering pump, air conditioning compressor, and sometimes your water pump. When this belt starts to crack, fray, or stretch out, it begins slipping on the pulleys instead of gripping them properly. That slipping creates the squealing sound that makes your neighbors think you are torturing small animals in your driveway. Here is the problem. That belt is not just making noise for fun. It is telling you that it is about to snap completely. When your serpentine belt breaks, your alternator stops charging your battery, your power steering dies, and your air conditioning quits working. You will have maybe 20 minutes of driving time before your battery drains and your car dies on the side of the road. The new serpentine belt costs around $35, and most shops charge $100 for labor. Total damage, around $135 if you act fast. But if you ignore that squeal and the belt snaps while you're driving, you are looking at a towing bill plus emergency repair costs. Even worse, if your belt drives your water pump and it breaks, your engine can overheat in minutes, leading to blown head gaskets or complete engine failure that costs $3,000 to $8,000 to fix. That annoying squeal is actually your cheapest warning ever. Do not ignore it. Number 3. Knocking sound under the hood. That rhythmic knocking sound coming from under your hood is not your engine saying hello. It is your engine literally destroying itself from the inside. This metallic tapping or knocking noise gets worse when you accelerate, and it sounds like someone is hammering on your engine block with a wrench. This is called engine knock, and it means your engine is running so poorly that it is damaging its own internal parts. Engine knock happens when your fuel ignites at the wrong time in your cylinders. Instead of a smooth, controlled explosion that pushes your pistons down, you get multiple chaotic explosions that slam your pistons around like ping pong balls. This creates that horrible knocking sound and generates enough force to crack pistons, bend connecting rods, and destroy your engine bearings. The most common causes are using cheap, low-octane gas in a car that needs premium fuel, carbon buildup in your cylinders, or worn engine components that have thrown off your timing. Sometimes it is as simple as switching to higher octane fuel and adding a bottle of fuel system cleaner, which costs around $30 to $50. Other times, you need a carbon cleaning service that runs $200 to $400. But here is where it gets expensive fast. If you keep driving with engine knock, those violent explosions will destroy your pistons, connecting rods and crankshaft. You are looking at complete engine replacement or a full rebuild that costs anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 depending on your car. Some luxury vehicles can hit $12,000 or more for a new engine. The worst part is that engine knock damage happens fast. Every mile you drive with that knocking sound is causing permanent damage that cannot be undone. Your engine is not built to handle those chaotic explosions, and it will give up sooner than you think. Stop driving immediately when you hear engine knock. Your wallet depends on it. Number 4. Clicking when turning corners. That clicking sound when you turn corners sounds like someone rapidly snapping their fingers right under your feet, and it gets faster when you turn sharper. This distinctive clicking noise is coming from your CV joints, which are critical components that transfer power from your transmission to your wheels while allowing them to turn and move up and down with your suspension. Your CV joints are packed with grease and protected by rubber boots that keep dirt and water out. When these boots crack or tear, all that protective grease leaks out and contamination gets in. Without proper lubrication, the metal balls inside your CV joints start grinding against each other, creating that clicking sound every time you turn. The sharper you turn, the more stress you put on these joints, which is why the clicking gets more intense when you are navigating parking lots or making tight turns. At first, this clicking might only happen during sharp turns or when backing out of driveways. You might think it is just an annoying quirk your car developed, but those CV joints are rapidly wearing out with every click you hear. What starts as occasional clicking during parking turns into constant clicking during any turn, then progresses to clicking even when driving straight. Right now, replacing a single CV joint costs around $400, depending on your vehicle. If you catch it early and only need to replace the CV boot and repack it with grease, you might get away with spending $150. But if you let that clicking continue, you will need to replace the entire CV axle assembly, which runs $400 to $800 per side. The real danger is when that CV joint finally gives up completely. It will lock up or break apart while you are driving, leaving you stranded and potentially causing you to lose control of your vehicle. That towing bill and emergency repair will easily hit $1,000 or more. Number 5. Rumbling noise at high speed. That deep rumbling sound that starts around 40 miles per hour and gets louder as you drive faster is not your car trying to sound like a muscle car. It is warning you about failing wheel bearings that could leave you in a dangerous situation. This rumbling noise sounds like driving over a gravel road, even when you are on smooth pavement, and it often gets worse when you turn slightly in one direction. Your wheel bearings are precision-engineered components that allow your wheels to spin smoothly while supporting the entire weight of your car. These bearings contain tiny steel balls that roll in carefully machined tracks, and they are packed with special grease to reduce friction. When a wheel bearing starts to fail, those steel balls begin to wear down the tracks they roll in, creating that distinctive rumbling sound that increases with speed. You can often tell which wheel bearing is bad by listening carefully while driving. If the rumbling gets louder when you turn left, your right front bearing is probably failing. If it gets louder turning right, check your left front bearing. A single wheel bearing replacement typically costs between $200 to $400 at most shops, depending on your vehicle. Some cars have bearing assemblies that are easier to replace, while others require pressing out individual bearings, which takes more labor. If you drive a luxury vehicle or something with all-wheel drive, expect to pay $400 to $600 per bearing. But here is the scary part about ignoring rumbling wheel bearings. When they finally fail completely, your wheel can actually separate from your car while you are driving. Imagine losing a wheel at highway speeds. That is a potentially fatal accident waiting to happen. Number 6. Whining that won't go away. That constant whining sound that follows you everywhere is not just annoying. It could be your transmission slowly dying, and replacing it will cost more than your car is probably worth. This whining noise sounds like a mosquito that never goes away, and it gets louder when you speed up or change gears. Unlike other car problems that come and go, this whining never stops and seems to follow you no matter where you drive. Your transmission is basically the part of your car that decides how fast your wheels spin compared to how fast your engine runs. Think of it like the gears on a bicycle, except way more complicated and expensive. When your transmission starts whining, it usually means something inside is running dry or wearing out fast. Most of the time, that whining happens because your transmission is low on fluid. Your transmission needs special oil to keep all its parts moving smoothly, kind of like how your engine needs motor oil. When that fluid gets low, the pump inside starts making that whining sound because it is trying to move fluid that is not there. You might even smell something burning through your air vents, which means your transmission is getting dangerously hot. If you catch this whining sound early, You might just need to add fluid or fix a small leak, which costs around $300. But if you have been hearing that whining for weeks or months, the damage inside your transmission is probably already done. Fixing a broken transmission costs $2,500 to $4,000 for most cars. Getting a completely new transmission can hit $4,000 to $6,000, and some trucks or fancy cars cost even more than that. Here's the thing about transmissions: they do not fix themselves. That whining sound means expensive stuff is breaking right now, and it gets worse every day you ignore it. There you have it. 6 scary car noises that could either save you money or completely wreck your budget. The choice is yours. Your car is talking to you every single day. Those sounds are not random. They are warnings that can save you thousands of dollars if you listen and act fast. Remember, every noise gets more expensive the longer you ignore it. That $200 fix today becomes a $2,000 nightmare next month. If this video just saved you from a massive repair bill, hit that like button and subscribe for more money-saving car tips every week. We are here to keep your car running and your wallet happy. Drop a comment if your car is making a weird noise we did not cover. We will help you figure it out before it gets expensive. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.